And welcome back to Eyewitness Newsmakers from your locally elected headquarters. Andy Mahalchik along with our producer Jane Ann Bugda. And our guest on this segment is Democratic candidate for the 123rd District in Schuylkill County, Pj Symons. Mr. Symons, thank you for joining us today on Eyewitness Newsmakers.
And thank you for having us today.
Let me start with the first question. Why did you decide to run for office? And first of all, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run for public office.
Okay, I'm a retired railroader. I started right out of high school on the railroad, the original Reading Railroad. Worked my way up to director of track. And in 1995, I ran for prothonotary and was elected to Schuylkill County prothonotary, which I enjoyed. The public service, helping people. Back then it was with their passports and other types of civil proceedings, but I enjoyed always the opportunity to help people. And with Neil Goodman retiring, I thought it'd be an opportunity to go on a little farther, get to the state level, and give a little bit back to the 123rd. It's a district I grew up in. It's a blue collar district. Being the fourth generation railroad worker, I believe I can help a lot of people in this district just from my upbringing.
And today, the purpose of our gathering is just to learn a little bit more about you and for the viewers and for the voters at home. So tell us a little bit about the top priorities of your campaign.
Okay, the number one is tax reform and our roads repairs. Our roads need to be repaired. And we do have some blight communities. So working with Harrisburg, the other representatives, I believe that we can work together to get some of our roads repaired and work with the opportunity to change the tax reform that everybody in this district and throughout the Commonwealth are looking for. So I think me being at the end of not at the end of my career, but having a political career and a career in the private sector, I believe that I can go to Harrisburg and do a little change down there or fix things up a little better.
Mr. Symons, of course, the big issue, the reason we're doing an interview via Zoom is because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So what is your assessment of how the state has handled the pandemic from Harrisburg? The viewpoint from Harrisburg, have you handled it well? And if not, how would you change the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, how it's been handled so far and moving forward?
Well, it's a tough thing. It's something that we're not used to dealing with. And I believe they're doing the best they can. I mean, it's a lot on the table here, and I feel safe. The people in the 123rd right now, they feel safe. So we made it through this far. I believe that they did a good job protecting ourselves and giving us instructions on how to keep safe. And I thought they handled things well for this type of pandemic that we have. It's a first-time situation. I believe they did well.
And of course, Mr. Symons, when we talk about the Commonwealth, the economy, bringing jobs to the region, how do we keep a robust state economy and encourage people to bring their jobs here?
Well, the thing is, people want to get back to work. People want to work. The 123rd, it's a blue-collar district. People want to work and they enjoy working. So I think with this virus coming to not an end, but some type of control or whatever you can say but I think people want to get back to work. And I think the economy is going to start picking back up once everybody does get back to work. I know small businesses are taking a hit right now. And I have a lot of friends that are in small business, and I pray for them that something comes back soon. Be the restaurant business, they're really hurting right now. And I think once the economy starts coming back soon, I think everybody will go back to work and look forward to new employment.
Okay, Mr. Symons, you mentioned tax reform at the outset of your interview. If you can expound on that a little bit, what do you see, what can be done to move property tax reform in Harrisburg? Has been talked about. There's been tie votes. I mean, it's been talked about. It's like the weather. People say people talk about it, but they don't get anything done about it. What difference can you make, and how would you change property tax reform, or how would you make it happen in Harrisburg?
The thing is, there is a lot of talk for years. Certain individuals or elected officials have talked about tax reform for their whole career. I think what we have to look at is, and I said this before, and I agree on the severance tax for the Marcellus shale. I believe there's money there that we can use to go towards property tax. If I get elected in Harrisburg, and there's a new tax, if it's on the Marcellus shale or on something new throughout the state, I believe I will vote for something, but I won't vote for any new tax to take care of the budget. I would vote for a tax to go towards tax reform. Any new tax, way it may be, would go towards the tax reform to help the people in the district and in the Commonwealth help on their property tax.
And of course, in the state, a lot of talk about the legalization of recreational marijuana. What is your take on that?
Well, right now, I'm not comfortable with it right now. I don't think the state's ready for it. I'm for medical marijuana. And again, if it does pass and it's taxed, it doesn't go to balance the budget. It goes towards a new tax towards property tax. Any new taxes I would vote on, again, Marcellus shale or the tax on marijuana I would not vote on it for to balance the budget. I would vote for it to go towards tax reform to help the individuals in the state and this district.
A big concern, of course, almost every election year is health care reform, both on the national level and state level. It's more of a federal issue, we know, but from your perspective, if you would be a state representative, what would you talk about, what would you push for as far as health care reform in this country? Single payer, the way it is now? What's your opinion on that?
I think health care reform is when someone's sick, take care of them right away before it gets into more complications. I think if we would address an illness right off the bat and take care of the individual from the beginning, we would find out if there's more problems, we can take care of it up front and not go into the later on. They're afraid to go to the doctors. Well, if we address it up front and the doctors find something, they can handle it right away instead of waiting for it to get worse or make more complications. I think if we work with the healthcare and provide right off the bat, I think we could help the people and actually help the possibility of taking care of less bills, I could say, or less costs down the road for the hospitals or for the patient.
And we have one last question for you. We want you to look out there and talk to the viewers and the voters and tell them why they should elect you to the State House of Representatives.
And I believe a good representative is someone that listens. Someone that wants to listen to the people of their district and go to Harrisburg and then speak. Let the people speak and then take your message to Harrisburg. And that's one thing I promise I will do. I have done it as the prothonotary of Schuylkill County. I've helped the people of the county, which I will do in the 123rd district. I will be the voice, and I promise I will be the voice, and I will not let you down. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you, Peter Pj Symons, a Democratic candidate for the 123rd district in Schuylkill County. Thanks for being with us tonight. We'll talk to you in the days ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And newsmakers from your local election headquarters will be back right after this.